Could have used a better flashlight, 2 out of 10. Complete mess, shady con job by Bloody Disgusting, 2 out of 10. I love found footage, this is just bad, 2 out of 10. I love found footage movies, too bad this isn't a good one at all, 2 out of 10. No thank you, I'll go watch paint dry, 1 out of 10, wow. Ambitious, plus a boring mess. I could hardly see what was going on, 3 out of 10. I give it 2 for premise and attempt, 2 out of 10. The worst, most boring, pointless movie I've ever seen, and shockingly awful, and so on and so on. Wow, these people hate fucking found footage movies almost as much as I do. So yeah, let's talk about this one. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. Okay, got a bunch of movies we're going to talk about. Again, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the Outwaters, but the rest of them, I'm just going to kind of skip through them really quick. Just give you my opinion, not real full reviews at all. Just letting you know what I thought and if you should watch them. I'm not really going to hit too many key points. Okay, so I just got done watching this movie, The Outwaters. I had a bunch of people ask me over the last couple of days if I've seen this and, you know, could I give my opinion on it? And is it as bad as everybody's making it sound? And then some other people were saying, how come like the movie reviewers, like the legit movie reviewers are praising this movie, and then, you know, just the everyday viewer is fucking hating this movie. So, okay. Everybody knows who watches my channel, or at least has watched it for any length of time, knows I cannot stand the majority of found footage movies. I think they're lazy. For the most part, they're basically, you know, I read this the other day. It's somebody was saying, and it was a review on this movie saying, this is a prime example of the old saying, just grab a camera and go out and start filming and blah, blah, blah. And that's what he was saying. And he was saying you get piles of shit movie, kind of like this one. You know what I mean? Because just anyone can make it. And it's true. I mean, anyone can go get a camera. And I mean, you don't even need a camera. You just use the one on your phone. And you can start filming, right? And then you have found footage. I mean, some of them are good. The majority of them are fucking terrible. Okay, now, so listen, I went into this movie, okay, and I read the reviews before I went in. And I thought, okay, this is going to be a pile of shit. But I'll tell you something. I shut it off, and I didn't hate this movie. I knew and I understood what they were trying to do. Rob Benefich, who's the director and also the writer, and I think he also stars in it, and he also funded this movie. Again, this is like ultra low budget. It's ultra low budget. And I mean, you have to work within those boundaries. Now, this movie, I felt, tried to bring something that they couldn't afford to bring. Okay, I did get that feeling. Plus, this movie is fucking way too long. Okay, it's an hour and 50 minutes long, and nothing happens, absolutely nothing happens until the halfway point in this movie, and then it starts. Okay, we could have done with like a 15 or 20 minute, you know, background on these characters, and that's it. And then just get into this movie. This is easily an hour and 15, maybe an hour and 20-minute movie. We didn't need the extra half an hour or 40 minutes or whatever the hell it was. Because most people are going to be so fucking bored out of their mind and wait for something to happen. And the other thing too is that when shit starts to happen in this movie, it's confusing, okay? And as much as most people hate this, I actually like that part of the movie because, and I'm going to offend some people for saying this and whatever, get the fuck over it. And if you don't like it, then come at me in the comments and, you know, whatever, we'll have at it. But listen, if you have any common sense, okay, you'll have to agree with what I'm going to say. Horror movies nowadays, for the most part, especially the crap that goes to mainstream cinema, is so stupidly dumbed down so that even the most simplest of audience members can understand what's going on. Okay, Cocaine Bear was like that. There's a bunch of other movies too that I could name. It's like every scene where something is happening, there's always a character off to the side explaining what the fuck is going on or what's happening so that the audience can figure out what's happening. Okay, can you even argue that? Okay, because it's in almost every single movie, or at least the poorly written ones. Okay, everything. And I always revert back to The Nun. You know what I mean? Because that movie was fucking terrible. It was stupidly written, and every scene that made you think in that movie was explained to you by one of the characters. And I've said this, now a couple times, like there's so many movies like that, and it's just mind-boggling to me why they keep doing it. Like, are we not supposed to think anymore? Does everything have to get so stupidly watered down that the audience just can't think for themselves? And I'm going to say, yeah. Yes, it probably does, because most people don't want to fucking think. They want to grab their box of popcorn, they want to go into a fucking theater, and they just want to have jump scare after jump scare after jump scare, and that's how they want to get fucking scared. Nobody wants to think anymore, okay? And I'm not saying everyone, okay, but there's a large portion of it, and I see it in every fucking movie I go to, okay? And yeah, you can all be offended and blah, 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 whatever. It's the fucking truth. I watch literally hundreds, if not close to probably 1,000 movies every single year, okay? And a lot of them are in the theater. And I see the audience, and I see the reactions after. Now, I'm not saying I'm a fucking genius by any means, you know what I mean? But I like movies that make you scratch your head, okay? And this movie is one of them, because you don't know what the fuck's going on here, okay? I didn't read the synopsis. It's very simple. 4 travelers encounter menacing phenomena while camping in a remote stretch of the Mojave Desert. Okay, basically it revolves around 4 people. Robbie, Scott, Ange, and Michelle. Michelle's a singer, and they want to go film her for some music video. So they go off somewhere in LA in the deserts and stuff, okay? And then Angie comes along, to help with makeup and all that sort of stuff. Now, first off, I can appreciate the emptiness of these barren, almost wastelands that you see on the outskirts of LA and when you're driving to like San Diego and stuff. Because my daughter goes to school in California, and I go fly into Los Angeles quite a bit to go watch her home games when she plays. And I drive on these highways, and I always see these just massive open barren areas. And I honestly always think to myself, if my fucking car breaks down at night on one of these highways, I'm fucked, because there's literally nothing out there. It's just desert. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And so I can appreciate when these people, or appreciated when these people went camping in this just desolate area with nothing else around them. So when shit starts to go south, they've got nowhere to go. Okay, so that part kind of I can relate to. Okay, again, I don't want to spoil this movie. Okay, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people are kind of comparing it to Skinamarink. I don't think so. Skinamarink started off with you not knowing what the fuck was going on. This movie at least gave you some background on the characters, and then it kind of, like I said, at the halfway point, it kind of starts in with this crazy ass what the fuck is happening kind of scene after scene after scene. So I'm just going to give you my quick opinion, or my quick view on it. So from here, there's going to be spoilers. Okay, so if you don't want to hear that, then just skip to the next fucking segment, and then I've got them time-stamped, and then you don't have any spoilers. But I've had a lot of people ask me my thoughts on this, so I'm just going to quickly give it. I think, because at the halfway point, we're hearing all those bangs and stuff, and what I think they're trying to get across is that somehow, and it even kind of gives it away in the poster, because there's that cloud or whatever that is in the poster in the desert as they're walking into it, and it shows the eye. I think that somehow they've been transported into like another dimension sort of thing that's kind of between maybe hell and earth, or somewhere like that, somewhere fucked up anyways, okay? Because the shit that happens, and I mean, there's even a scene in there with the flashlight where he kind of comes across a creature. Now, we barely see it, but he does flash the light on it, and it does make some sounds. But I mean, and when he sticks the microphone into the hole in the ground, you know, it's making all those weird sort of noises, like something, you know, might be going on there. And then there's quite a few scenes where he kind of wakes up or opens his eyes, and it almost looks like he's looking out of that hole, like he's inside looking out. And then there's another scene where he's kind of covered, like he's always covered in blood and slime and shit. And then it's almost like he's pulling off this mucousy type membrane of some sort. So I don't know if they kind of, like at first I thought maybe it was like an alien abduction. I don't think so. I think maybe what he's trying to bring across here is that they've got sucked into some void and they're kind of in between dimensions. Because there's another scene in the movie where he's actually calling to them. I think this is near the end of the third act, where he actually sees the four of them walking in the desert and he's screaming at them and they can't hear them. But then at the last minute, I don't know which one it was, but one of the men stop and they kind of turn and look over like they hear something. So that's kind of my take on this. But then the very ending of this movie, when you've got the three heads on the fucking posts, like then I'm thinking, okay, is this guy just having like a fucking mental breakdown? He's fucking snapped. And he's just killed them, and we're trying to see inside his mind as to what the fuck's going on inside of a, you know, like a psychopath killer or something like that. So I don't know. Listen, this movie is meant to make you think, and I think it does a good job of that. Okay, again, I'm not a huge fan of found footage, and by no means that I love this movie, but I did like it just for what they were trying to do. And again, I mean, there's so many found footage movies that are just fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I did appreciate what they were trying to do in this film. So to give it a rating, I'll probably give it a 6. Okay? And this is coming from a guy that despises found footage movies. I really liked Skinamarink because it brought me back to when I was a kid and the things that scared me. And this movie, you know, it didn't really have that same effect, but I did appreciate what he was doing with almost a zero budget. So, I don't know. I'm going to give him props. It's by no means like a movie that's going to wow you. And the majority of you that go watch it will probably fucking hate it, okay? Because nothing's explained. I'm just giving you my opinion of what I thought I was seeing on the screen. So, I mean, if you've seen it, chime in, because I'm curious to see, you know, what you guys, or what your take on this movie is. And yeah, so that's what I thought. I mean, it's definitely a movie that's going to make you think. So, you know what? I've spent so much time on this movie too. I'm just going to stop there. Okay. So I'm just going to release this as an individual review, kind of. And then I'm going to do the other movies in another video. So I'm going to post this out now, and then I'll have another video up in the next couple of days with the other 5 movies I was going to talk about. I spent way too much time on this flick, but I had so many of you wanting to hear like what I thought of this. So that's what I think. At first I thought they got sucked in to like another dimension or a void, maybe between here and hell. But then at the end, the head's on the sticks. I don't fucking, like, he's killed his friends. You know what I mean? Or he's had to have killed his friends because he's the only one left. So maybe he just went fucking bananas. And we're trying to, you know, see what he saw, and he's blacking out and waking up and covered in their blood. I don't know. It's a crazy movie, man, and it doesn't explain anything, and it's there to make you think, and that's certainly what it does. So anyways, the movie is called Outwaters. It's out now. If you've seen it, please let me know what you think of this one, guys. And until next time, stay scared.